What is up, everybody? Jersey here from windowcleaner.com, and I hope that you can hear me. What's up? It is Monday. I hope you guys are having an awesome Monday. And yeah, we are getting closer. Tomorrow is February. That means that we have the shortest month coming up before spring. So let me know when your spring starts. For us in Wisconsin, it was actually in about May, and there was times in June that we would still be wearing like sweatshirts and coats. So it's crazy. But what's up to Craig Cartwright or Nick Wright? What's going on, man? By the way, nice to see you. I'm glad you're here. He's been sending me some awesome videos, by the way. If you are here, please put down when your spring starts. I was just talking to somebody earlier today whose spring actually starts never. Like their spring never starts. Their rush never starts. And they're just always busy because they are in a warmer area climate where as soon as their spring kind of would have started, they basically have all of that happening with snowbirds. So snowbirds are there helping them along the entire year, and that is absolutely rad. Here in North Carolina, I don't think I am far enough south for snowbirds, but I don't know. It's going to be nice. We're going to hit almost 70 this week, so I guess it's okay. But what is going on to Simple Mind? What's going on? Michigan, man. You are in the same boat as I was in Wisconsin. Like, you just don't know when it really starts. Everybody says that. If you don't like the weather, wait a minute and it will change. But tell me when your spring starts. I know you don't know a date, but when does it actually start? When do you think it will crack off for you? Tell me that there. And what's up, Fred P? Fred is in California. What's up? Glad you're here. Your spring, same thing. I don't know that your spring ever really starts. But are you ready for spring? People kind of wait a little bit too long sometimes in spring because we don't have money. Like, we don't have the same money coming out of winter that we do in spring, right? We're not cash rich. So a lot of times people don't want to have EDDM right. They don't want to have their marketing on point. Maybe, and I didn't know this was a thing either, which I think is ridiculous, but hey, people put their SEO work on hold. I was talking to somebody who had mentioned that. That is like not advertising because you're too busy. Doesn't make sense. You should always keep that on. But yeah, Simple Minds said March and April. April is the start. Yeah, that's nuts. Like, to Fred P, who's in this group right now, Fred's probably like, what? But I kid you not, in Wisconsin, Thanksgiving was our big push. We got to Thanksgiving, and then we did not have, like, houses. We're like a couple, like 3 houses from December until, like, probably March, minimally March. And then they started trickling back in. So you got to plan for that. We also knew that going into it, so we could take funds and allocate those for the marketing calendar. By the way, if you're not doing a marketing calendar, I hope you are. But go back and start your marketing calendar from the beginning of the year. Remember, you don't know when it's going to start, but start it as in how many weeks you think you're going to have. Get it all ready. Another person I was talking to has a bunch of EDDM and door hangers and everything already, like, there and ready to send off, which is super rad. They're just prepared. And I love the prepared side, because right now it's always hard, especially February. February is a tough month. Even though it's the shortest month, it is like one of the toughest months for window cleaning. By the way, on a side note, if you're commenting and you're in the commenting mood, tell me what your favorite month is or your least favorite month, because for me, it's always February. I know that it should be December because so many things are going on. There's so many, like, scheduling issues. There's the push for the end of the year, but man, you get through all that, and then all of a sudden January hits and you're like, all right, well, everything's starting over. You're building your systems for the year. You're doing all that. You're staying busy. And then all of a sudden February hits, and February you're like chomping at the bit, ready to get that next year going, but it's not quite here yet. So for me, that is my my least favorite. But what's up to Sean Weatherly, man? What's going on? North Carolina. Woot woot. Yeah. March for us here. I'm out in Charlotte, outside our Charlotte area. And it started even sooner than that. Like it really started like the second, third week of February when it starts. I mean, we get flowers in February, so it's pretty crazy. But Dubious K. I was gonna say it all French like. What's up, man? We try to keep the guys busy through the winter with commercial work and gutters. Our crew more or less goes down to half days until mid-February, March. That is actually awesome, though. Not that they want to do half days, but you keep them going through the winter with commercial stuff. That is a really, really big goal. It is so much easier to keep people than to hire new people. Like if you have to hire new people all the time, the problem is you got to train them, you got to get them ready, you got to do all that stuff where if you're just keeping them happy, you don't have to deal with any of that. It's so much cheaper. Even if you're spending a little bit of money in the wintertime, like we had like shop, whatever we called it, shop chores and stuff, where we would go and days that we would just clean the shop. And it gave them hours to keep them happy and coming back. So yeah, really, really important to kind of keep people happy for sure. So that is a really good idea. Keep them on. And Craig said, best January ever. Hit almost 5,000. Dude, that is rad, man. You're the second person that told me that this is the best February that they've had. So that is really, really awesome. Congrats. If anybody's watching, tell me if it's your best February or if you've had better ones or what. But February, as far as WCR, absolutely phenomenal. And it's great because if we're busy, that means you guys are busy. So that is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, growth numbers are just through the charts. The time that's here right now that we get to live through is really good, especially with a lot of you guys are just killing it. You're killing it like Craig. You're just blowing up. It's January. Understand it's January. That's crazy. Same thing with AWC Magazine, if you can see. Just have some back issues, back stickers, things like that behind me. But yeah, for them, same thing. That magazine is 3 times the subscriber base from a year ago. We've increased subscribers to the American Window Cleaner magazine by 300 times, 300%. This just means people are being successful. If you're successful, it means that you're doing something right. It's absolutely awesome. Chris Murphy, what's going on? April 15th-ish. I like that you have a date. Is that happy? Are you thinking positive, or is that March 15th usually it? Now, just so you guys know, starting marketing calendars, I always say, now in Chris's situation, maybe he knows. Maybe he's just going to flip the switch on March 15th. By the way, if you just are joining us, we're talking about when does your spring start. But Chris, if you know that that's your date and you flip the switch, do you build your marketing calendar directly off of March 15th? I always built it off of a week schedule. So what I would do is I would wait. And then as soon as we had that first week in like the 70s where the phone just goes from 0 calls to 100 calls, I would flip the switch, start our marketing calendar, and then that's when everything would go. We'd have our EDDM going. We'd have our marketing on the AdWords and Facebook, and we would start doing all of that stuff, all based off of that day, and it always changed. And it always was a buffer. So the first day the phone went crazy, I wouldn't do anything because I'm like, we're going to see. And if it stayed with it, then my marketing calendar was up and running, and you couldn't stop it at that point. So nice. Well, March 15th is your time to kind of shine. What state are you in, by the way? But yeah, if you know when your start is, or even if you know when it started soon enough, you can post everything. If you have things printed for EDDM, if you have your door hangers printed, if you have your AdWords, your Facebook ads, all of that stuff designed and made, you have it in queue, just waiting. And as soon as it happens, you flip the switch and start it. Now, if you're running a marketing calendar, you know exactly, okay, on the first week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, I do this. Wednesday, Friday, I do this. I know that as soon as I start it, every day I can come in and look at a calendar and go, this is exactly what has to get done this day, this time, all that fun stuff. If you're running a marketing calendar, then that is how that works. That's why marketing calendars are so valuable. If you're not doing it, you just become busy and then you lose sight of everything. Right? And by the way, Chris and anybody else, Craig said best January ever. Tell me how you stacked up. What percentage did you do compared to last January? But Chris is in Massachusetts, and your start is March 15th. That's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. You guys are not super warm there. So to be able to start that soon is absolutely amazing. Craig said spring starts in March, but we have a huge pollen storm the third week in April every year. Then everybody wants their windows done before Memorial Day weekend. Yeah, isn't it weird how different areas have those where you almost know it happens? Like the joke here is that it snows on Valentine's Day. The week of Valentine's Day, we will get some kind of like call for snow. And then the next week, it gets into 70s and never comes back down. So it's pretty crazy. But what's up, Jose? Man, greetings from Chile. Well, you are on the opposite side. You probably don't even have a spring season. You probably don't even have a slowdown. I'm not sure on if you do or you don't, but I love to know your seasons because I know nothing about Chilean like seasons. So let me know when your spring starts and when you start getting busy. Oh, what's up? We got Holland in the house. What's going on? March also in Holland. That's crazy. So yeah, March is the month, man. If you look at our numbers and trends, if you guys don't know, Chris Lamborghini's the owner of windowcleaner.com and like the, founding father of a lot of things you guys kind of see in window cleaning. He is a numbers freak. If you don't know, numbers freak. And everything is written down to the T. We can tell you exactly where everything was, projections. We can tell you how far off we are on projections. I mean, my particular sheet, and I've learned from him, I have a spreadsheet that I design every year. We redo it, recalculate everything on it, and it is down to the day of the week, the day of the month, that particular day. So on January 7th, I know exactly to the dollar, to the penny, how much I need to make that day. Because we all have goals that we kind of set aside for as far as projection goes to stay on projection. Chris is the same way. He can see it all the way back down to exactly. So if you know that your time is March 15th, if you know that it always does certain things and things start going, you know that you can at least plan to get even closer. So tracking things are super, super important if you're not tracking. Craig said, never run marketing, all callbacks and people calling from seeing my van or website. It's another thing, man. If you have a vehicle and it's wrapped, that thing will make you money forever. You will just continue to make money, and then eventually you will just get a new wrap. Like, don't ever look at the cost of a wrap. $3,000, $5,000. You're like, oh man, how is that? Like, that will make you money every time you drive anywhere, park anywhere, go anywhere, as long as you own that vehicle. It's absolutely crazy, but that's awesome. By the way, congrats, Craig, for $5,000 in January. Best January ever, and you don't do marketing, so it's pretty good. What's up, Roman G? Not sure when it picks up in New Jersey, but I think around April I should be getting busier. Yeah, Jersey is also a little bit tricky because you don't know if it's going to be a warm spring, a soon spring, an early spring, late spring, all that fun stuff. Same thing with Wisconsin is we've had snow in May. We've had like measurable snow in May. You just don't know sometimes. So you just got to stay with it and see. Like I'm saying, when that phone starts ringing, all of a sudden you go from no calls, 1 call, 2 calls. All of a sudden the next day you get 32 calls. You know that is your light switch. It's turned on, but you have to watch the calendar because you'll get a false start. You'll get that where a bunch of people call and then you won't have any calls for a couple of days because the weather doesn't look so good. Maybe it's cloudy. Maybe somebody said the evil 4-letter word, right? Maybe there's clouds. It doesn't matter what people go through, but they all think at the same time. Even if people don't talk, all of a sudden everybody calls at the same time. It's absolutely absurd. So, but get ready for it. It's coming. Make sure you have everything in. dial it in, get your paper products, your EDDM, your mailers, all that stuff. Now's the time. Because once you get busy, it's going to be too late. So get all that stuff ordered. Of course, I'm going to tell you to get supplies. Take it with a grain of salt. I'm a supply rep for windowcleaner.com, so of course I'm going to say that. But yeah, I have this sitting on my desk. The best cover that's ever been on the American Window Cleaner magazine is actually that one with TJ. By the way, if you have a subscription to American Window Cleaner magazine, by the way, if you don't, go get it. But they have a new ad in this issue coming up, February? And it's one of my favorite ads ever. So super awesome. Hey, go get the subscription if you want to. awcmag.com. But yeah, by the way, before I go, Jose's here again in Chile, if I'm saying it right. Spring begins on September 22nd until December 21st. Crazy, I guess, if you still have a spring. That's pretty nuts. So that's good. Either way, you know where you are, you're used to it, and you kind of work it that way. So super rad. But I appreciate it, guys. Oh, by the way, before I forget, tonight is another episode of the move the stupid sticker Monday Night Live Chat. Steve and I do this, and we were doing every other week, and this week we're going to do it again because we had so many people. There was 460 comments in 1 hour's time. There was like hundreds and hundreds of people. Hopefully you guys want to be there again tonight. If not, go to Steve-O's YouTube channel. Follow it tonight at 8 o'clock East Coast time, 8 East Coast. Make sure to set an alarm. Come hang out and talk. You guys are doing awesome in here when you talk, so why not do some more? So either way, thanks very much.